Australia needs ambitious arts policy that invests in artistic courage. We need the voice of the artist to inform, invigorate, and inspire the national political conversation. And equally importantly, we need the national political conversation to inform, invigorate, and inspire Australia's artists. The visual arts are Australia's #1 art form by participation, and yet policy changes across recent years have disadvantaged individual artists the most. Artists' incomes are declining. The numbers of visual arts and craft practitioners are falling. And artists' fair pay and intellectual property rights are increasingly ignored. Despite working longer hours than ever before, working longer and harder, more and more artists are living precariously. It's taking longer for artists to become established, and the gender pay gap is worse in the arts than in any other industry. This is bad news for all the ways in which we imagine and create our future. Australia urgently needs arts policy that's ambitious and fair, because without it, we risk losing culture, talent, jobs, and the local communities and economies that they power. In every room of Parliament House, you'll find the work of artists. Artists are right there when all the big decisions are being made. Now is time for artists to be heard. Australia needs ambitious policy that invests in artistic courage. This means putting First Nations first. On the advice of elders, artists and community, investing ambitiously in the National Indigenous Arts and Cultural Authority, implementing the Uluru Statement, and implementing the recommendations of the Fake Art Harms Culture Inquiry. Making fair pay at industry standards a condition of all public funding for organisations who work with artists. Investing ambitiously in artists' time, artist leadership and artistic self-organisation. And there's more about these specific artist initiatives on our website. Increasing the Australia Council's funding by at least $25 million per year to catch up on what's been lost in recent years, to support unfunded excellence, and to make sure that the Australia Council can invest significantly in strategic sector development initiatives. Committing to the integrity of independently peer-assessed funding. That's one for the entire nation to get on top of, states and all. Replacing the Major Performing Arts Framework with an artistic investment framework that includes VAX, the Visual Arts Craft Strategy, in secure, long-term indexed investment. Prioritise the initiatives that propel artist self-organisation, strengthened communities, and a vibrant independent arts sector. Advancing copyright reform so that artists can earn incomes from their intellectual property without being threatened by content mining tech giants. And there's plenty more to be done in superannuation reform, tax reforms, and investment incentives that make it possible for contributions to be made to the arts that strengthen the sector and strengthen practice for artists. And all that is just a start. So much more is needed. Visionary leadership is needed. Leadership that understands political leadership as cultural leadership. An investment in artistic courage would change Australia. It would strengthen Australia. Because artists define what is possible, and artists defy what's impossible. A nation that invests in artistic courage is a nation with the confidence to face any unknown challenge. An investment in artists is a vision for Australia's future. This election year, we call on all parties to invest in artistic courage.